Happy Monday. Hello, fall. Oh my goodness, it wouldn't be fall if I wasn't starting to fall under the weather, right? Starting to fall under the weather, that nasal congestion and that. But we are here because you know what? It's go season, it's winning season, right? The holidays are coming. Everyone is in a buying and shopping mode. So you need to be in position to capitalize on that, right? And that means that you want to be in a position to get in the flow, to get in the currency exchange that is happening, that is largely happening all around us, right? I could look it up, but Black Friday is in about 2 months from now. So we're within 60 days, I believe, of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And there are people who are already doing their holiday shopping, right? And so it becomes a tango, if you will, where it's not about, you don't want to be teaching people to wait for a Black Friday offer, but you need to be cultivating community. You want to be building that know, like, and trust factor now. You do not want to wait until Black Friday and then, oh, hey, I got an offer, right? You need to be showing up now. This showing up inconsistently, and let me tell y'all something else, okay? Y'all with these faceless accounts inboxing me, and it's not about me per se, but I need you to understand, when you have a faceless account, the number one thing you have out the gate is know, like, trust, right? So when I'm telling you from my point of view, when I get an inbox on the Clock app, on IG, on FB, when I get an inbox from an account that I've never interacted with, that has a logo and not a person's first and last name, it's a little weird to me. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. It's a little weird to me to be getting messages from people that I really don't know who it is that I'm speaking to. I have no idea if it's a human. There's so many things that I don't know. And that is why I keep explaining to you that it is time to look at showing your face, right? It's the same with comments. And I know we've talked about this before. It's the same with comments. When you're on other people's lives and you're commenting, but you're commenting um from an actual faceless account, that is weird to people. It's absolutely weird to people when you do that, right? They don't know who you're talking to. Some of y'all getting backlash in that, right? Here's the thing. I talked a little bit about this on Friday. When it comes to digital marketing, a couple things. Number one, it is not a product, it is not an offer, it is not a business model. It is a highly paid skill set. Digital marketing is a highly paid skill set. The true value, and yes, I offer MRR courses, but the true value is in my personal brand. The true value is in the skill sets that I've developed under the umbrella of digital marketing over the last 10 years. The true value is in my marketing expertise and education and real world experience over the last 32 years. Okay. So, yes, I offer those other courses, but I am showing up to help, to serve, to provide value, to solve problems. And when you're showing up with a cute logo and a name that is not your name, but what you do, it is weird to people. It's absolutely weird to people, especially when you're going live, when you're DMing people, right? Because first of all, you need to do your homework. I went through having to educate people on this on Facebook over 10 years ago. You need to do your homework. If you did your homework, you would know that chances are, and I'm not saying this to be mean, But you would know that chances are I definitely outweigh your sales, marketing, and leadership experience with over 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience, practical experience, expertise, knowledge, and real world application. Okay. So could we collaborate? Yes. Could we have conversation and build community? Yes. But is there something that I would most likely buy from you? Probably not. Is there something you could probably learn from me? Absolutely. So stick around, right? But emailing people cold, I didn't even get into that, but messaging me cold from a faceless account is going to get you ignored. I'm sorry. Because I have no idea who you are. And my inbox is busy. I am a busy person. I have a roster of clients. Okay. I've got a roster of clients that I take care of, that I help build their online digital presence so that they can increase their sales and live the life of their dreams, meaning they didn't trade one corporate job that was killing them for a business that was killing them. That is the value proposition for my ideal clients. The way that I do that is I help them generate traffic through search. So that includes Pinterest, that includes the Zon, that includes the Clock app, right? Wherever they can go and stir up search traffic, that is what I help them with. Okay. So you have to know what it is that you bring to the marketplace, and you need to show up as that person. If you have a faceless account with 5 posts on it, I don't know your name. You might have just gone through and liked like 6 or 7 posts, and I can tell that you didn't read them, you didn't watch them, right? That's not really building an authentic relationship. It's not building no like and trust. I'm looking at you a little sideways. And again, I'm not saying this to be mean, but I'm looking at you a little sideways because I know you're here for a reason, and it ain't to build a relationship. You're trying to get me to buy something. You're trying to sell me something, honestly, rather than get me to buy. Because did I buy DBA from someone who didn't have the sales, marketing, and leadership experience that I do? Possibly. But you know what she has done? She's built multiple businesses that were successful in person. And she presented it in a way that made me understand it and want to be a part of it. And I watched her for a few lives and checked out her content, and I could see her face. And I'll be honest, while I didn't know her government name, I built connection with her. I built relationship with her before I decided to buy. And I still didn't buy right away. It still took me a week or two before I pushed the button and bought, right? I watched a few more people to make sure that it wasn't just her, but I promised her the sale. So I'm a woman of my word. I gave her the sale. There is no shortcut to success. The only closest thing you have to a shortcut is getting a coach, a guide, a mentor to help give you guidance along the way. But if you buy something like DBA, for example, you've got to go in and you've got to learn the skill. The money is in the skill. The money is in the skill. The money is, can you make money selling the course? Yes. But I'm going to tell you, the emails I sent out and the offers I made this morning, and yes, you can charge more for DBA than the list price. You absolutely can charge more for the DBA than the list price. But I'm going to tell you, the money is in the skill set, because the skill set is representative and is the gateway to the transformation that you can help your clients with, that you can help your customers with. It's the transformation, it's the solving of the problem. How can you save them time? How can you make them money? Right? How can you help them improve their relationships? Did you know that a product like DBA, especially for someone who has a full-time job, is going to help them improve their relationships, because they don't have to spend even more time further away from the ones they love and they want to be with most. Even if they were to take on a work from home job where they say are working in a call center, they still are glued to that phone. Whereas with DBA, yes, they do have to take time and schedule time weekly and daily to build their DBA business, especially in the beginning, but they don't have to clock in, for a bunch of hours and ignore their family in the background and miss out on family events because they have to be on the phone for the call center for the work from home. So DBA can definitely help with your relationships, right? But so can your digital marketing skill set. If you're going to um, build brands, you're going to help people with their branding, right? If you can set up you can learn how to launch. You can help people set up their online store. Do you know how many people buy DBA, but they don't know how to, and they don't want to learn how to set up their store? And it's one of the first modules in DBA. You can make an income from that alone. And it is something that you get to set your terms. You work when you want to, and you say your pricing. So you can say, I need to make an extra 5,000 a month. I can need to make an extra 1,000 a month. I need to make another 200 a month. Whatever it is, you can figure out your pricing and how many customers you need to get from there. Okay. It's that easy. Well, I shouldn't say easy. It's that simple because you got to work. You got to work. Right. I was going through with my mastermind, what all it takes. I'll see a lot of people when it comes to like your lead magnet, which is your freebie, something you give away for value. And people give you their email and their name so that you can stay in touch with them. Right. And so that's your lead magnet, right? It is part of an overall strategy. And a lot of people create their lead magnet because they are expected to have, they've been told they need to have a lead magnet, but it's not actually a part of their overall strategy, right? And so they just put something out there that doesn't flow into any offer, let alone their core or signature offer. And so they have this lead magnet out there that's not converting. I just want to do a sound check really quickly. Yep. We got sound. Okay. So they have this lead magnet out there, one that's not compelling or appealing, and two, it's not converting partly because it's not compelling or appealing. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't offer any transformation. It doesn't help build any know, like, or trust, but it's there because they were told they need to have a lead magnet, right? And so, in going through an outline for a boot camp that it came up like that's a lot. It is a lot. It is. And if it's a lot, you have a decision to make. Are you going to pay someone else to do it for you? Are you going to pay someone else to do it with you? Are you going to do it yourself, or are you going to keep your business where it is right now? Are you going to keep facing the same struggles that you're facing in your business right now? Because this is a fundamental piece of doing business online and offline. Offline businesses have leads. Ask me how I know. I told you, over 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience. Okay. I've sold life insurance, health insurance, mutual funds, annuities. I've sold computers and peripherals, vacation packages. And I can tell you, in any sales background, in any sales culture, do you have any prospects/leads? Right? I've gone through this in a live before and broke it down that there is a sales cycle. There is a sales cycle. You need to know your sales cycle. How long from start to finish does it take for someone to go from learning about you and your offer and how it provides them transformation to them actually becoming a paying customer? You need to know that, because that's how you figure out how much you can make each month and what you need to do each month. to make that. Thank you for the love, Nikki. Do I have to have a license for those? For what? For life, for insurances? Yes. I let those licenses go because I bet on myself, but I let those licenses go. So I don't sell those things anymore, but life insurance, annuities, mutual funds, and that, when I sold them, I had the licenses for them. But I haven't been licensed in some time. For pajama, I'm not following. So, yeah, you do need to be licensed for some things. Real estate, you need to have a license, right? Not everything, though, do you need to have a license for. Travel, for example. You didn't need to have a license, but a lot of them offer different accreditations and certifications to help you competitively stand out. That was a great question. Thank you for that. Okay. So but this is about sales numbers and your sales cycle. You have to know your sales cycle, right? Because see, y'all watch these lives and y'all hear and see people throw up screenshots, and you think, okay, I buy DBA today, I'm gonna make $1,000 in the next couple days. And is it possible? Yeah. I mean, if you have the sales acumen, if you have the network, if you have the influence, if you have the community, you probably can do that, right? You probably can do that. However, is it going to last, though, is the thing, right? Is it going to last? A lot of people who come into anything and have immediate success like that because of their network, because of their influence, because of their community, once they exhaust that really warm and hot market, and now they're working with a less warm and colder market, a lot of them pack up shop and they quit, because that's where the real work begins. So the reality is, you got to do the work regardless. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. You got to do the work regardless. Okay. I've been around the block for many decades. I've been around the block, so I get it. I know, but I've been around the block, and I can tell you, there are people that I know online and love dearly, but they move from offer to offer to offer to offer because they have no stability. They have no stability because they have not decided and developed themselves to actually develop the skill set, and not just the skill set of, for example, digital marketing, but the skill set of actually building their business. Thank you for the likes. They have not built that skill set, right? They have not dedicated and turned on the switch in their mind that come heaven, hell, or high water. I love saying that, by the way. Come heaven, hell, or high water, I'm going to make this work, right? Because sales is, and if you are in business, you are in sales. We have to stop with, but I don't want to sell. And that's why I don't really sell DBA as truly passive, because in the beginning, you have to really sell. You have to really sell through your content and through one-on-one, through group communication. You have to sell. You just do. That doesn't end. That doesn't go away just because it's online, right? And a lot of it has to do, and I continually am healing from this myself, and that is the rejection wound. You don't like dealing with rejection. And let me tell you, even with that rejection wound, I've been able to sell a lot in my lifetime. Last week, I found out with one brand in particular that I have sold over $75,000 in skincare since I've been representing that brand. Over 75,000. And let me tell you, there are people who work a lot harder than I do to sell that skincare. And there are people who have large teams underneath them who have not personally sold that amount of skincare that I have. But that's because of my digital marketing skill. And I became committed to the digital marketing skill. We are in the season of quiet success. We are in the season of quiet money. We are in the season of quiet work. Okay. What does that mean? I will get into that. But ask your questions below. And I probably should at this point. We're 20 minutes in and I haven't introduced myself to those of you who don't know me. How rude of me. My name is Tamara Hamilton. I am a digital marketing expert. I have over 30 years, as you've heard, of marketing experience, over 10 years of digital marketing experience. I am what you call a marketing prodigy. I came out of high school and worked in the marketing department of a major consumer brand. And I worked on the business to business end of that consumer company while I was an undergraduate. So I would actually sit in class, learn concepts, and then go to work and see them in action in the real world. So I have over 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience. I've been working since I was 15 years old, and I had leadership positions even at working at McDonald's in high school. I am a natural born leader. I was leading. I'm the oldest daughter. This will make sense. I'm the oldest daughter, the oldest grandchild, and the oldest niece of 14 grandchildren. That will tell you a lot, right? Especially if you will understand the magnitude of that. So I have been in a leadership capacity my entire life. I turned 18 one Tuesday and had a baby the next. So that will give you an idea of how long I have been leading people, right? And that's not to say I always got it right, but what I did always get right was my willingness to correct myself and learn and do better and be better. Okay. So now that we've gotten that introduction out of the way, I go live. You want to make sure you subscribe, that you are following, because I go live and I share that 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience. My content alone is a freebie, especially my live videos. Okay. My short form content tends to be a little more entertaining, a little more inspirational, because I give away so much in my long form live content, right? This summer, I did an entire email masterclass that was free. It was good. Y'all ate it up. It was good. So if you are not following me, I invite you to click up here and elsewhere, you know where to go to follow me and subscribe, because there are a lot of people talking about digital marketing. A lot of people are talking about digital marketing. I have lived digital marketing for over 10 years. Okay. I have lived marketing for over 10 years. Oh my goodness. I'm probably not going to be on live because I'm getting those seasonal allergies again and I'm really congested. Okay. So I forgot what I promised you after this. I wish I could rewind and hear myself what I said. But we are in a quiet season. We are in quiet work mode. We are in quiet money season, right? I talked on Friday about how a major online retailer, um, basically their trade secrets were divulged on the Clock app by an overzealous creator looking to gain some followers by not gatekeeping information that she was legally required to gatekeep, right? In the last week, I've seen someone from Waffle House, someone from a hospital. I've seen their content where they got fired for doing the Brokey challenge at work. This is what I mean when I say it's time for me to introduce you as an elder. Can't believe I just said that. It's time for me to introduce to you the concept of some things need to be gate kept. Trade secrets are definitely among those, right? And here's the thing, when I say contractual, it does not mean that you signed anything physical on the dotted line. But when you read the terms and conditions and you apply to be an affiliate, when you read the terms and conditions and you apply and agree to be a distributor or whatever a company is calling it, you agree to their terms, conditions, and their guidelines and their community standards. And that is legally binding. That is contractual. Uh-huh. And so y'all can't just be out here spilling when these companies tell you in bold at the very beginning of the email that this is confidential and you can only use it and share it for your planning purposes. and you get on this app, and while you don't share the email, you share enough information that you have now divulged trade secrets to their competitors. And that is problematic. And it's not just problematic for you, it's problematic to everyone, especially us, because everything is always compounded when it comes to us. So that's what I mean when I say it is a quiet season. It is quiet work. It is quiet money time. Okay. It is time to put your head down and do the work that needs to be done. I'm going to tell you something else. This comes from 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership. Okay. My bonus mom worked in HR until she retired a couple years ago. My younger sister has multiple master's degrees in HR. She is in Switzerland right now. She has a very high up position. I won't name the industry that she's in. Okay. I know a little bit about HR from my experience in hiring and firing and developing people. And I'm going to tell you something, not only from that experience, but from an employee and manager and supervisor role. And that is this. We are coming on the season where they are going to begin doing what they call performance. There's a meaning. What y'all don't realize is before your performance review, especially in certain companies, there were meetings where all the managers got together and they talk about their team and their team's performance. And then their managers did the same thing about them because they have a curve. And I don't work for nobody, so I can share this. They have a curve, and somebody got to be in the bottom 10%. I don't care how excellent your team is, somebody has to be in the bottom percentage. Everybody can't be, you can have a stellar team and be getting stellar results. They're going to make you put somebody in the bottom percent. Okay. This is also the time of year where we are entering into the fourth quarter. So companies are now going to start making cuts so that their fourth quarter performance for their stockholders is where it needs to be. And this is why you need to be working quietly, you need to be working strategically, and you need to be working smartly. Because if you're out here loud on these apps, using these people's resources and their place of work for your side hustle, you just put an X on your back. You may not want to be friends with everybody that you work with on social media. You may, in fact, want to not use your last name. You may, in fact, want to use your first and your middle name or go by your middle name. Okay? And just know that if you go viral, I'm not fearing you. I'm not fear mongering you. I'm just giving you what I know. This is not to say you shouldn't still be building your side hustle, because you absolutely should. But you got to be smart about it, especially if you value and want to keep your day job. Because this is the time of year between October and November. Every year I have friends who get laid off between October and November, right before the holidays. Every single year. And I'm talking white collar, professional, six-figure earners. And not the same ones. The one does repeatedly. It happens. They get downsized. It's the industry and that, right? And so the Fed lowered the rate last week. I'm not going to go into what that means. You can research that. But there are people who still insist on we may be going into a recession, right? Lowering the rate should help stave that off. But that still does not mean that these companies are not going to be looking to lean out to make their profits look even better than they did last year and the year before, because they've been posting record profits. And that's the name of the game with corporate and shareholders. They want more, 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 better, better, better. And so if that means there has to be some casualties, and just know the reward for being a high performer and doing well is more work. You might get a little bit more money, but it's going to be more work. right? And so what a lot of companies do, they quietly lay people off. See, y'all been talking about quiet quitting for several years. Y'all been talking about quiet quitting, but companies quietly lay people off. It's called performing them out. That's what some companies do this time of year is they perform people out because when they do layoffs, it's not good news for their stock price. Okay, it's not good news for their stock price. So what they do is they begin to go through kind of on a witch hunt and they start applying pressure on middle management and down. They start applying pressure and it becomes not feast or famine, but you know, you either got an X on your back or you put an X on somebody. It becomes Hunger Games. If I'm gonna keep it real with you, it becomes Hunger Games. Okay. So now is not the time to be doing certain things on your social media presence. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a social media presence, but some of the people who've been fired in the last week is because their company has policies on what you can and cannot do on social media. I worked in financial services for one of the top 5 largest banks in the world. And there was just certain things. And that was before the proliferation of social media like it is now. There were certain things like if there was a robbery, if there was an incident, not even robbery related, if the press came, we could not talk to them. We had to send them to the PR department. We had to say no comment. We had to say we're not allowed to talk about that. You have to go through the press department. So if you spoke on camera about that incident, you were pretty much going to be ixnayed, right? And it's the same thing with your social media presence. Y'all have this is quiet time. This is not the time to be loud and wrong. Because some of y'all loud and wrong. That girl was wrong to get on here and divulge that confidential information that was sent out to a specific group of people who had agreed to that company's terms, conditions, community standards, and guidelines. She was wrong for that. And she thinks it's fine because this email that was my college account and I'm no longer in college. That email is going to be deprecated anyway. Okay, but they can still got your social security number. They still know who you are. And they can not only ban you, but any EIN that is associated with you. Now, you're lucky enough that I doubt it will go that far, but there is a reason I firmly believe, and I talked about this on Friday, that I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if it's a 2-year degree. I don't care if it's a 6-month certificate. You need to get some accreditation and go through some formal education and training on whatever it is that you're doing. You do. Because you need to learn compliance with different laws and policies from the government in that like there are going to be people in trouble with the FTC for the claims that they make and not doing disclosures. Okay? There are going to be people in trouble for those things. You know, when you're selling anything health and wellness, you have to be very careful to not diagnose, to not claim to cure or heal. You have to be very careful. Even myself, I've gotten not letters from a government agency, but from a brand saying, hey, we need you to tweak this or take that down. And it's like, okay, because I'd rather get it from you than from them boys. Them boys, bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? I look good in orange, but I do not look good in orange to be wearing it every day and somebody telling me when to go to bed and what's on the menu. No, baby. Not for me. Not for me. That is the antithesis of what I am here to do. Okay. So when I say we are in quiet mode, I mean it is time to stop worrying about going viral, develop your system, and work the heck out of your system for the remainder of this year. Make the goal the system. Make the goal the system. I got my system tightened up over the summer. You see, I didn't wait until now. I did it over the summer, and all summer long, I told y'all, come along, let's do a strategy session. Let's get your system ready and locked and loaded because I know the cycles. I know the consumer buying cycle in this country and even worldwide, but definitely in this country. I know the consumer buying trends and cycles because I have over 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience. I've been tracking and watching for over 30 years, right? That's that blink that Malcolm Gladwell talks about in the book Blink. You just know what you know, right? You just know, because you've been around long enough, right? And that's why it's so easy for me to spot trends, because I know what I know what I know. Because I've been doing it long enough to know. I've experienced enough to know. Okay. So quiet mode does not mean faceless account. If you are brand new, if you are a beginner, just know if you truly want to go faceless, most of y'all, and I've talked about this before, most of y'all are doing faceless entirely wrong. It needs to be a theme account. So think of World Star Hip Hop, think of Baller Alert, think of Shade Room. It does not have to be the gossip celebrity theme. Those are great examples of themes that most people understand. It could be a one of my favorite accounts. Back in the day, they renamed themselves and rebranded, but they used to show digital marketing infographics. I'm a nerd, I admit it. So I used to love consuming that content with of the digital marketing graphics, infographics that they would post, right? Make sure. Sometimes it looks a little crazy. Okay. To make sure that you understand that this theme, that's why I give those examples of like the Shade Room, Baller Alert, um World Star. There's another one, I can't think of their name, but they do a lot of clips of artists speaking about the music industry and inspirational content. Okay. So most people doing that are beginners and starting with a faceless account are doing it wrong. You should actually be doing a theme page. Okay. The aesthetic digital marketing account only works for some people. It ain't for us. Okay. It ain't for us. But I can speak to that from years of wisdom, experience, and knowledge. Okay. So you have to understand that. With the theme page, outside of a theme page, as a beginner, I would recommend showing your face. And that's why I don't sell, oh, just do a faceless account. Because some people, they're going to say whatever you want to hear to get the sale. I don't have to do that. Some people will say whatever it is that they think will get you the sale. This is a good point to stop and remind you that if you go up here and that mini page comes up, there is a preview where you can go and check out and learn more about what DBA is and is not. It's a beautiful document that breaks it down for you very, very well. You also can book a strategy session with me. So just click info and it will open up text messages and give me your name, what you're looking for help with, and that you would like to schedule a strategy session, right? They're not free and they're not cheap. Okay. Um, you also on the screen over here see where you can go to get my free Pinterest training, because you need a high converting offer and you need traffic. And that is why you want to build community. That is why you want to build audience. That is why you want to build know, like, and trust. Because most people who are selling you and telling you that, oh, I bought this and within 60 days, this is how much I made, it's because they had community. Somewhere along the way, they had community. Somewhere along the way, they had credibility. And that's how they were able to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to understand that you don't get to skip that. You don't get to circumvent the process, right? The other people that are having success, 4 and 5 figure success, they are going live and regularly. They are showing up. They are showing their face and going live. Because as we've been talking about all summer long, going live is an income producing activity. Going live and short form activity right now, from a social media marketing standpoint, are the top 2 ways to get in front of people that you otherwise would not have been able to get in front of. Short form micro videos, known as Reels, TikToks, and going live on just about any platform that allows you to go live are going to give you the biggest bang for your effort in terms of getting in front of people that you otherwise would not have been able to get in front of. And that is why going live is an income producing activity, right? And I can tell you, someone like me, if I might not go live for a week, you better believe it's because I'm heavy on the emails, I'm heavy on the messaging that week. I'm not going live as much, right? You got to know your business. You got to know. I keep what I call a health checklist to remind myself these are my key performance indicators. And these are the targets for where I'd like to see those key performance indicators. And if a key performance indicator is not at target, it is below target, here's the remedy. Here is how I fix it. These are the income producing activities that fix it, that will drive that key income producing activity number, that key income that key performance indicator up. Right? These are the things that I work with my clients on when we are coaching. We establish what their key performance indicators are. We establish what their targets are. We track and monitor their key performance indicator. And then we know what activities they need to do if that key performance indicator is not where they want it to be. We know this is the key performance indicator we need to start with. It should lead to this, then we work on that, and it leads to that, and it leads to that. Because success doesn't have to be a 6, 9, or 12-month thing. But you have to engage in what I like to call guerrilla, GUERILLA marketing. You have to be balls to the wall, pedal to the metal. You have to be willing to do all of the things. And for some of you, y'all have too many personal distractions. And you like creating content, and the content be your distraction because you are focused on keeping up with the Joneses instead of keeping up with the system, because the system is the goal. Okay. You have to keep up with the system, and the system is built on the activity. If you are not continually doing the activity, you will not get the results. So if you're not getting the results, the first place to look is the activity. Are you doing what you are supposed to do? I keep thinking of this motivational video that I love to listen to. I can't think of his name, but he's a retired coach, either NCAA or NBA, and he has this video, and it repeats, and it's over the dramatic music. Are you where you're supposed to be? Are you where you are supposed to be? Right? If you're not where you're supposed to be, you got to look at the activities. The activities are going to tell you, right? For most people, I can look at their account, and I can look at and see where they are. I can ask them about their sales, and I already know what the activity is that they're not doing, or doing enough or consistently. But that comes from 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience. But it is quiet time. It is quiet work mode. It is time to do the work. You have to show up. You have to show up consistently. There is a lot to be had this fall, this holiday season. People are still going to be spending money. People are still going to be buying digital marketing courses. People are still going to need to create the income streams. So how do you put yourself in position that they are willing to do business with you? Right? You need a high converting offer. DBA is a high converting offer, right? You need traffic. Pinterest is a great place to get that traffic. TikTok is a great place to get that traffic. Instagram, YouTube, short form video, but you need a strategy. You need a coach. You need guidance, right? So I would definitely recommend DBA to help you figure out and start honing on your skill. And then you need coaching, you need guidance, you need strategy to get you there. So you can reach out to me for a strategy session. You can reach out to me for Pin Profitz Mastery. You can reach out to me for an entire package of strategy sessions. That works too. But there is no way around doing the work. One of the biggest challenges I see clients face is that they are really good at what they do, and that is what brings them joy. But the marketing and sales piece does not bring them the joy. It does not come from ease and flow. So I do everything I can to make it come from ease and flow. And on paper, it may look like a lot, but once you work the system, it becomes very easy. But there is grunt work in the beginning. You're going to have to do that grunt work. There is no circumventing it. That's just the way that it is. There is not a single person online who is not where they are without having done the grunt work. And if they got there without doing the grunt work, somebody put a whole lot of money behind them. And in lieu of you having a whole bunch of money behind you, you're going to have to learn how to do the grunt work. You're going to have to learn how to get clients. You're going to have to learn how to service those clients. You're going to have to learn how to create the content. You're going to have to learn the different types of content to create. I saw the most insane training last week on creating content and content that converts. It was pretty interesting. I won't say it was bad because it was largely based off of my own training, but that's what I say. They can steal the sauce, but they can steal the recipe, but the sauce won't taste the same because it ain't coming from me. It was very basic, right? But without the call to actions, without the system that I've set up, that person pretty much, it was pretty weak. Okay. So you have to develop your system, right? So Gary Vee talks a lot about document, right? So to productize and monetize yourself, make yourself become the brand, you need to solve your own problem and sell the solution, right? But the way that you solve it might be unique to you. It's like when people post on, make a post and they say, how do you solve this problem? In your head, what happens when you see 7 + 6 = 13, right? And everybody has a different way, but they all get to 13. And so that's why you can't worry about what Tamira or the next person does. And you got to document and sell the way that you do it and who you are. So other people who are like you, who are where you are, can get similar results to what you get. Okay. So that's what I have for you today. It is quiet work season. It is time to work. It's time to work. Y'all cannot be on these people's clocks, using their resources, using their establishment, violating things like HIPAA, because that's why some of the nurses got fired, because that's why they have the social media policy in place in the first place, is because of HIPAA. You cannot be you cannot be revealing people's health information and data, right? Same thing with, creators. You cannot divulge trade secrets. And that girl last week divulged a major retailers uh, trade secrets by basically alerting their competitors. She didn't even know it. But because of my level of work and experience, I understood exactly what she was doing. And it wasn't her intention, but the law don't care. It wasn't her intention to divulge trade secrets, but the implication, the consequences, the result of her creating that video is now there are other big retailers, I can think of two of them, now know a key piece of their strategy, I won't say for the sale event, and they can show up and divert traffic from what would have been a really good strategic maneuver. But she divulged it and she shouldn't have. So y'all have to read these terms and conditions. You have to read these guidelines, these community standards, and you have to read them regularly. They send you updates. Always read to see what's updated. Always read them. I always suggest at least once a month, if not at least quarterly, if not monthly. So you know what you can and cannot do. And that's what I mean by working quietly. Some things need to be gate kept. Some things must be gate kept. If you develop a brand and you develop a logo, do you want somebody else using your logo? No. So what's the answer to that? You gatekeep it. You get it trademarked so that they can't use it. And if they do, they owe you compensation. You watermark your content, right? There's nothing wrong with having a logo, but don't message me if you got 4 videos up, not your name, not your face anywhere, acting like you want to have a relationship with me, because I'm not interested in having a relationship with a logo and stock videos. Okay. So I'm going to go. Make sure you are following or you subscribe. You know where to go for my freebies and to set up a strategy session. Okay. This is go time. My calendar is already pretty full. So you need to get that taken care of and get signed up ASAP for that. Okay. I'm going to go. I will come back live probably tomorrow. But your girl is congested. So I got to go. So I will talk to you later. Bye bye.